Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. It's just Marco here once again to rank the Saw chicks as you guys voted for when I did the happy 400 subscribers post, and I said, look, I'm going to let you guys choose because frankly, it's really hard every time we reach a milestone. It's really hard deciding what to do because it's like, what do you do? Like, it's just kind of a fun thing. We can pretty much do anything. And I think that it'll be better to let you guys decide every time so that you guys are able to have a say. Now, first of all, thank you very much for helping us get 400 subscribers. Thank you. It is a very big deal. It is huge. I'm really thankful. I'm really grateful. It will definitely be at the top of the list in terms of like what I'm thankful for on Thanksgiving when I'm sinking my teeth into that beautiful, luscious, big turkey leg. Just oh, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for those 400 subscribers on YouTube. Fuck yeah. Because here's the thing. YouTube, it's not like it used to be. They have made it extremely difficult for channels to get subscribers. They have made it extremely difficult for videos to get viewers. And so, like, yesterday, for instance, we waited until 3 in the afternoon to do our American Horror Story review. That made it to where we only have had 8 views so far on that video. That is extremely low. And that is because we waited a little later than usual. And so what happens is the later you wait, the less things are trending. And so if things are trending less, then that's less of a chance people will view the videos. And our channel overall has only had like 140 something thousand views. Now compare that to a channel like Good Mythical Morning, which is a channel with 18 million subscribers. Guess how many views that channel has? Almost 9 billion viewers. So you guys see what I mean? Like, they should have 9 billion subscribers, right? No, they have 8 million. Because for every view on the channel, all the views, only a fraction of those viewers are going to actually subscribe to your channel. So, anyways, let's get started. One of the reasons why I thought this would be a really hard video to make is it was really hard to see these women in full body detail in these films because the films were very dark. They were very grainy. The color filters in them were different each time and very weird looking. And so it was very hard to get a grasp on like the ass sizes of any of them basically, and their boobs and just basically anything. It was really, really tough and hard to do this list based on these movies because they're so dark and so hard to see. It's kind of unfortunate actually because I bet that a lot of the women who are lower in the tier list would have really benefited from me being able to see their full figures. And I will say this too, as a disclaimer. This video is not about the actresses personally. This video is about the characters, plain and simple. It is 50% about how they look and 50% their characters and how they act. So, number 39 is the baby killer from Jigsaw. She is kind of pretty. I mean, she's meh. You don't really get to see a lot of her. As I said, and she's kind of a biatch in the movie, so that's kind of a turnoff. But she is a baby killer, and in fact, she blames her husband for the killing of the baby, and that leads him to be put in an asylum where he commits suicide. So yeah, I mean, that is not the ideal situation. So I would have to say no to that. I mean, who knows what she would want to blame me for. She'd be like, you gave Jigsaw a bad review, so I'm going to kill another baby and blame it on you. You know, that's the kind of shit that this bitch would pull. Next up, number 38 is the motorcycle biker girl, goth girl from Jigsaw. Now, besides the fact that her makeup was really poorly done, it was very overdone and really unattractive looking, and her hair looked terrible too. She really looked like a fake goth girl, and I looked up the actress, and she is not a goth girl in real life. And it figures, you know, fake goth girls, they are really, really, really ugly. You know, like, there was this one girl I used to know named Penelope. She was like a huge, like, fake goth girl. But with her, it was even worse because she was also, like, trying to be like a Latina woman. So, like, she would... And you know, I never really say terms like cultural appropriation, but Penelope, she was, like, culturally appropriating, like, Latino culture with her ugly-ass, fake goth Latina outfits, and she's still doing it to this very day, and it's just, like, really, really gross and awkward and just not attractive at all. It's like, ew, you are not yourself. You know, you're something, you're some image that you want to be. You're not really yourself. That's not attractive. Besides that, this woman stole money from someone and then left her to die in the street. So yeah, another terrible person from Jigsaw. Are we surprised? Number 37 is the racist girlfriend from Saw 3D. Now, number one, she's racist. That's really unattractive in a woman, so she wasn't going to get very much higher than this. But also, like, she has this really, like, gross look in the movie where, like, she looks like she smells like canned dog food. You know, like, you could just imagine, like, being married to her and you're stuck in a trailer with her in a trailer park, and she's like, okay, honey, I got the hamburger helper on. Oh, what's that? Get off of me. And then, like, one of her 7 children, like, punches on her, and she's like, get off of me, honey. You gotta beat this child again over the head because she's not minding herself. You're gonna have to beat the children again. Get out the whip and beat them until they're black and blue in the face. They're not gonna get any hamburger helper and honey buns tonight. And honey, put on the tube because we gotta watch old reruns of Father Knows Best. That's the life that you're going to live if you're with this woman. And to me, that is even worse than being in a saw trap. I never want to be in a position where I hear out of my ear, honey, I got the hamburger helper on. After we do the hamburger helper, we can go have sex. But you're going to have to use protection because we're not going to be able to afford an 8th child. We already have enough children for our Aryan army. Like, I hate that. Like, just thinking about it makes me want to throw up. So, number 36 is the cheater girl from Saw 3D. This girl, she's got nice boobs, and they really purposefully showcase them in this film. The problem is, she's a cheater. And to me, cheaters are psychopaths. I mean, she's deliberately misleading two adult men and trying to ruin one of their lives eventually because she's so selfish and she's so awful on the inside that she has to be with two people at the same time when, both of them look like very, nice, handsome people, and it's like, you don't need two people, bitch. And so she is near the bottom as well. It's too bad, too, because she is very cute, and if she wasn't a cheater, I would have put her a lot higher. Number 35, and sorry everyone, I do not have the numbers in front of me, and so that's why I have to keep counting, because I made this into a tier list on tiermaker.com. So if you would like to rank the Saw series chicks as well, go there and go to actors and actresses, or just search Saw series chicks ranked, and then you can rank them as well, and then post them to Twitter or somewhere else. Don't go on Twitter anymore. That place has gone to hell. And it was already in hell, so that's pretty bad. So, number 35 is Amanda from Saw 6, the flashbacks, where she was with Cecil. Now, it's really sad because you guys know how I feel about, these messy women who are, druggies and, really, just messy, just sloppy, type of people. You know how I feel about those types, if you've seen my channel long enough. And number 2, she was with Cecil. That guy, if she would hook up with that guy, that would indicate to me that I would have a fighting chance with her. So that really, it's too bad. I would have put her in the top 5 of the list. But she was a party to Cecil killing accidentally a baby, giving Jill a miscarriage by slamming the door on her. That is a huge turnoff. And besides that, this is when Amanda is at her low point. This is when she needs to be tested. Now, number 34, so that was a huge shame. Number 34 is the woman from Saw X. Now, it's really sad with her, too, because she is really, really sexy. I mean, she is a Norwegian woman, and there is nothing hotter in the universe than, a nice, Norwegian woman, because Norwegian are, those types of women, they look like aliens. They look like people who they shouldn't even exist. Their beauty is just so beyond anything that, how could that even be possible for them to exist? That, they look like statues. They look like sculptures that were perfectly sculpted. And it's just unfortunate, because number 1, we are not able to see this full sculpture in the movie ever. So that's number 1. Number 2, this bitch is evil. I mean, she is really, really evil. I don't want to spoil the movie because it is an incredible movie that I would recommend everyone to see instead of supporting the piece of shit Exorcist movie made by the piece of shit people who made the new Halloween movies. Fuck that. Stay away from that. Watch Saw X instead. Number 33 is Amanda from Saw 3. This is another one where it's really sad that I had to put her this low. But she was really evil. She was having a change of heart against John, but she was really, really intent for no reason on killing the doctor who was just trying to help. And she was really, really crazy in this one. And even though they did give her a reason in Saw 6 for why she had to do that, at the time, the people who made that movie, they weren't intending on anything like that as a reason. They were just intending on her being evil and jealous. And so that is very, very... I mean, because you think about it, like somebody who is so jealous that they'll kill, that is a crazy woman. So no thanks. Even though she is very beautiful, very pretty. Number 32 is Amanda from Saw X. This is one where it's sad again because I love her character in the movie, but her hair, the wig that they gave her in this movie, it looked really, really bad. It is probably the worst looking wig I've ever seen on film. And that's saying something. Number 31 and 30. These are the lying women from the merry-go-round in Saw 6. Now, they are kind of pretty, I guess, but you hardly get to see them at all. They work for a horrible insurance company. They don't really learn a lesson because they're able to lie their way out of the trap. You know, one of them says something about being pregnant after the real woman who's a mother said that she was a mother to get out of it. And so I really don't like them. They're very close to being in the bottom tier. Number 29 is the blonde woman from Saw 5. The one who gets killed right off the bat. Now, this woman, we don't really know anything about her. But we do know that she really sucked. It is what is considered probably one of the easiest traps in Saw history. And so that is a huge turnoff. Besides that, she's just kind of average. We don't get to see very much of her, so nothing much to write home about. Number 28 is the black woman from Saw 5. Now this woman, she is kind of pretty, even though she is dating Kang, Token Kang in real life. But there's a certain point where her character becomes really unlikable because she wants to kill this guy, the rich guy. They get to this bathtub trap and she just wants to murder him. I mean, she turns crazy and, you know, she doesn't even think about the trap and about what to do logically. She just thinks, you know, oh, let's kill that guy because, you know, we don't like him. And so, once again, her natural instinct is to kill someone, and so that's somebody that I would not want to be with, because she probably be one of the types to use a pair of scissors to do you know what, and then you'd see her on the news and it would be like, crazy woman chops off a YouTuber with 400 subscribers, you know what, and now she's going to jail. Like, so I'd stay away from that. Number 27, I believe, is the mother from Saw 6 who's on the merry-go-round. She's also, like, just kind of pretty, like, kind of average, but number one, we didn't get to see much of her at all. Number two, she's there, and her character never really does anything to warrant her being any higher. So that would be next up. I mean, next up is, let's see. I keep getting interruptions outside this video, so that's why I kind of seem a little off, is because I don't know what it is. Like, even though I'm able to, like, close my door and lock the door, I still get interrupted, like, over and over again. So I'm apologize for that. Number 26 is the mother from Saw 6 who is related to the heart attack guy. Now, she is once again pretty average. And also, but she gives second chances. So that's why I put her a little higher. She was willing to give the health insurance guy a second chance. She was willing to let him go. She seemed like a good mother and a good wife, too. And so I would have put her higher, but we just didn't get to see very much of her. And yeah, she's just kind of there. Once again, another kind of... She's just there to service the story, She's not there to look pretty or anything. Number 25. This is the popsicle girl from Saw 3. Now, she has a very nice body. Kind of average, though. But I do like... she's a Saw popsicle. If I could buy her from Kroger's, I would buy her immediately. And I'd take her right out of the plastic and just go... That's me licking this Saw popsicle because, yeah, hell yeah. Okay, you know what I would do? I would say, oh, you want me to get you out of the Saw trap, huh? Now, I'm not going to do a weird voice now, but that's what I would do, seriously. I'd be like, oh... It's because it was really easy to get that key, and honestly, she was kind of a shitty person. She wouldn't testify to help this guy put the killer of the guy's son in behind bars, so she was kind of a shitty person. But I would definitely take that opportunity to go. How could you resist? And as well, she kind of looks blue, and so she could be blueberry flavor, and there's only one way to find out, the whole popsicle, the whole thing, just all over until, I don't know, because, I'm pretty sure my tongue is so strong, I could probably lick off all of the freezing water before it kills her. I don't want to brag, but I'm just saying. I would try. I would give it the old college try, even though I never went. Number 24 is Jill from Saw 4. Now, this is when she looks very, very average, and when you're just kind of starting to learn about her character. And she's also someone who's had a miscarriage, and, it seems like it'd be very depressing to be with her because she lost out on something that, most women, normal women, really, really want in their lives. It's in their lives at some point. And so it would be really depressing because I'll tell you guys something. I'm not going to say too much, but I did meet a woman very similar to this on a dating app, and she was from Peru, and she is as old as Jill in this movie, and she has never had a relationship or anything, and she is so depressed about not ever having had a baby that she is just it's and that's her secret shame is what she said. And so this is what happens though, these women, they get really old, they want to do the single woman thing, and then they get to her age, and they realize what a mistake they made. And so she said she cries herself to sleep because she's so sad, and it's see, that's really bad, guy. That's really depressing. And so, and it's too bad too because she was kind of pretty, and I wouldn't mind being with her, and but she disappeared. I don't know where she went. She works factory jobs in Peru, so she probably, I don't know, who knows. But so I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to have depressing sex with Jill from Saw 4. Number 23 is the final girl from Saw 5. Now, she is really, really boring looking. She's in kind of like a professional, like, suit kind of outfit thing, and she's just kind of there. She is smart, and she is very smart at a certain point, but she also was willing to kill the black girl, so that is very unattractive, that her first instinct was to kill the black girl, to just kill someone in general. And then later on she realizes, oh yeah, actually we could have all worked together. Duh. And so she doesn't really seem like the sharpest tool in the shed, and she's just kind of boring. Like, she's kind of like a pencil figure, and we don't really even get to see much of her as well. See how much of a running theme that is, guys, that we don't get to see very much of these people? Number 22 is the blonde woman from Spiral. Now, I don't know who she is. Like, I think she's the wife of the evil partner, but she's hardly on screen, and she's just there. She's just there. Like, I promise, guys, pretty soon we are going to start to get to some babes who deserve to be where they are on the list. Number 21, speaking of babes, you have the blonde woman from Saw 3D. The blonde woman. This girl, she's really actually pretty sexy. I mean, she kind of looks like Amanda Seyfried, and Amanda Seyfried is married, so this girl is like the next best thing. The unfortunate thing is that even though she is pretty damn fine, she is pretty damn retarded too, because in her trap. Now, the trap looked really, really brutal. I would not want to be in that trap where you had to pull this fish hook out of her stomach. That looked really painful, and so she kept on screaming. And the whole thing of the trap was that you were supposed to be quiet. And so I can just imagine if she has this trouble being quiet when her life is on the line, she probably like a nagging wife type of person. Number 20 is the woman in the hot room in Saw 6. Now, she has a pretty nice figure that we're able to see because of the nice orange lighting. And, she's covered in steam and she's all hot and steamy. And I got to admit, like, that whole sequence, I got really turned on by her because, like, she was just, like, her hair was all, like, dangly and messy, and, like, that was really, really hot. However, her instinct was to take this saw and cut open the guy who was trying to save her. So that's pretty bad. She is another person who I could imagine would take the scissors to your you-know-what. Number 19 is the blonde woman from Saw 4. And see how unmemorable these people are? You don't even know their names. Like, come on. Number 19, now this woman, this guy saved her from being scalped fully. He saved her. He got her out of her saw trap. And she is pretty average too. Nothing to write home about. She kind of looks like Britney Spears right now, which is really... Talk about average, or below average, I should say. But she does something really awful where she tries to kill him because that's what Jigsaw told her to do. So that was pretty bad. She's another one. I could imagine you're in bed with her, she's on top of you, cowgirl style, and then all of a sudden you see a pair of scissors and she gets off and she's like, snip, snip. And then next thing you know, you're no longer a man. I did it because Jigsaw told me to. I had to snip off his you know what. Because he's a bad man who ranks the chicks in the Saw series. Snip, snip. Number 18 is the woman from the weightlifting trap from Saw 3D. Now, to be honest, she is actually pretty above average. She is pretty, fair. And, she's pretty smart, too. I mean, she was trying to tell the guy to do what he was doing, and he kept on pussying out. And so I have a feeling, she would be, a really good person to, be with, because feels like she can put up with a lot of stuff. It feels like she's like a cheerleader. She's like, yeah, go, yeah. She'd be really fun and insane to be with, if you know what I mean. And so I would put her this high. Number 17 is the reporter girl from Saw 6. Now, she's just kind of average, she's kind of like the slutty, blonde reporter stereotype. But she seems like a nice person. I mean, she never does anything wrong the whole movie. And in fact, she's one of the few people in the series to make it out totally unscathed. But at the end, she is not able to persuade the family to not kill the insurance guy who's her brother. So I feel like she is kind of a weak person a little bit. But she's kind of cute, I guess. I'm not really a fan of this type of stereotypical look, but, to each their own. Number 16 is the fake redhead from Jigsaw. Now, there's nothing more that I hate than a fake redhead. This woman, you can tell she's not a real redhead, at least from what I can tell. And she is obsessed with Jigsaw. She kind of looks like Bugs Bunny from Ant-Man 3, the girl that they replaced the daughter with, that annoying biatch. But this woman is much better, and, at least she's not a bad person. She's just a normal person who's just obsessed with Jigsaw. Nothing wrong with that, especially when we reviewed all of them in depth. Number 15 is the mother from Saw 1. Now, she's a fighter, and so that's pretty hot, but she really has this, gross, early 2000s look, these early 2000s outfits, and this early 2000s haircut. She's just kind of, average. Number 14 is the blonde woman from Saw 2. Now, this woman is the wild card, because although she is so gorgeous that she deserves to be in the top 10, at least, but I can't put her there because we don't know what she ever did. She could be crazier than all of the women on this list combined. But then again, she could also just be a drug user or something, so, we don't really know. Number 13 is the black woman from Saw 6 at the very beginning who cuts off her arm. Now, she is really, really strong, and she is very, very pretty in this movie. And I really thought that her character was pretty cool. And then later on, they're like, did you learn anything from cutting off your arm? And she's like, fuck no! I cut off my fucking arm! So, she is pretty cool, and she is definitely deserving of being near the top 10, because I would definitely be with someone as smart and cool like this who just, she was willing to do anything. She was not scared to hack off her arm, which just looks so gross. Number 12 is the police chief from Spiral. Now, this woman, she kind of looks a little bit like Kim Kardashian, except not as fake and phony. But in the movie Spiral, the reason why she isn't in the top 10 is because she kind of acts like a man in the movie, like a little bit. Like she's one of those like women with like a position where like they kind of try to act like men a little bit, and they did it on purpose, like as a part of the script. And so this character, she's kind of like a little too manly. Like I don't know if that's what this character would be like at home, but if she's like that at work, I don't know. But she is still number 12, so that's a pretty high honor on this list. Number 11 is Amanda from Saw 1. Now, she is also kind of average, but, excuse me, the whole thing that I kept imagining was, I swear, it would be the hottest thing ever to have sex with Amanda while she's got the bear trap on her head. I mean, there's just something sexy about that bear trap. There's just something like, it kind of looks like, I don't know, like it looks really, really sexy. And you could just imagine like, you know, having sex with her with the bear trap on. But other than that, her character is just kind of there, and we don't get to see her for very long. So, but she is a survivor. I mean, she's a fighter, and she's really strong. So, number 10, this is where we get into the babes, the real babes. Number 10, and sorry for the background interruptions, guys. I don't have any control over it. Number 10 is Jill from Saw 3D. Now, there's this part where Jill is having a dream, and she's put in this trap where this like saw trap like rails her, and that is probably like the most like overtly sexual image in the whole series. Is like she's just there tied up as the saw trap rams into her and splits her in half. And so like that is probably one of the hottest shots of the whole series, I guess, because you know it's very, very symbolic, I guess you'd say. And she looks very beautiful in this movie with what she did with her hair. She looks a lot better than previous entries. However, her character in this movie is really, really weak. Like, she's a lot weaker than the other movies and a lot less strong, and she gets killed. So, number 9 is Valentina, I think her name was, from Saw X. Now, even though she was a part of the scam, I just couldn't resist putting her this high. You know, she is really, really beautiful. And I would forgive her for being a part of the scam. I wouldn't mind, because she's another, like, just perfect looking, like, she is just, like, she is flawless. She is really, like, top tier, in my opinion. Now, speaking of top tier, number 8 is is it Perez? From Saw 4 and Saw 6. Now, she is a real babe. And every time I watch the Saw movies, every time she's on screen, I'm just like, not like that, you know what I mean? But like just totally in awe of her beauty. You know, she's got this beautiful curvy hair, and she's got a nice, like, just simple but cute body. And she's an agent, and she's pretty cool and badass. And when oh shit! Ow! I just spilled water all over my leg. When she gets the scars on her face from the jigsaw doll exploding in her face, the scars actually make her look even cuter. I mean, she just gets cuter and cuter as the series goes on. And fuck Hoffman for killing her. Number 7 is Jill from Saw 6. Now, what I really loved about Jill from Saw 6 is that it made it as though she's kind of like, she was really okay with everything that Jigsaw did. In fact, she helped him. And so you could imagine, like, they probably had some really kinky experiments in the saw traps. You know what I mean? Like, Jigsaw would be working on a saw trap late at night, and she just comes in with a cup of hot cocoa, and she's like, "Here, honey, I hope this makes you feel better, even though you're going to die in a couple months." And then he's like, "Hey, honey, I want to play a game. Get on the saw trap, and I'm going to get on too." And then they just do crazy stuff you can imagine. And so this Jill, I am a huge fan of. She's very, very gorgeous, and she was about to kill Hoffman, and I loved how she trapped him and how badass that was, where she put him in a position where he really had to fight for his life, and it was close. Number 6 is the wife from Saw 3D. Now, not only is she a 10 out of 10 looks-wise, but her character just seems like the perfect wife, like the perfect wholesome wife. She's extremely supportive. She's extremely loyal. She's a very good person, and she is so undeserving of the treatment that she got in Saw 3D. She got the worst death of the whole series, and I really felt bad for her, because if I was in that guy's position, I would do anything to save her, because she seems like the perfect wife, the perfect life companion, and there's nothing more attractive than that. Number 5 is the hooker from Saw 2. And now she has got this messy look. She has got this beautiful, like, eye makeup. She's got really cute eyes. She's a mess, a sexy mess, a sexy, like, early 2000s, just edgy mess, and just, yeah. and she's kind of dumb, but kind of cute at the same time. She's so dumb that she's cute. And the fact that she's a hooker, you guys saw where I ranked hookers on Better Call Saul. So, if I rank those very high, I have to also do the same thing here. I have to be consistent. And so she is just really, really like a knockout, though. Like, I really wish that we could have seen more of her, literally, and, everything else. Number 4, this is probably the cutest woman on this list. She is just cute until the very end. Number 4 is Gabriella from Saw X. The whole movie, you're just thinking, what did this cutie patootie duty ever do to deserve a saw trap? What did she do to deserve a saw trap? And you're just thinking, like, no, you want her to get out of that saw trap. And she actually is so badass that she makes it out of her trap, only to be killed by that evil woman, Cecilia. So, yeah, hashtag Gabriella did nothing wrong. Hashtag Gabriella deserves everything. Hashtag Gabriella is a babe. Number 3 is the detective woman from Saw 1, 2, and 3. This woman, she is like the ultimate babe. I mean, she is just perfect in every way, shape, or form. Her wavy hair is beautiful. Her eyes are really nice. And she's a smart person, too. Kind of smart of a person. And she's a badass detective woman, and so she's I think she's like the only female detective, but then you have Agent Perez, so her and Agent Perez, they are really, really top tier. And honestly, like, every time this detective was on screen, my eyeballs were more focused on her than on the movie itself, like the saw traps and the victims, like, because she is just so perfect. Speaking of perfect, number 2 is Amanda from Saw 2. Now, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was about that nurse's outfit, but that nurse's uniform, I said about everyone else on this list, you could not see their figures very well. You could not tell who had a better ass than who. Well, you could definitely tell with Amanda in Saw 2. Her nurse's uniform, it made her look shapely. I don't know like what it is, like what type of fabric that is, but that nurse's outfit that Amanda had on in Saw 2, it made her look just perfection to the next level. She looked so curvy and shapely. Like, I had a very hard time paying attention to this movie because I was so focused on her outfit. Like, I was like, wow, I have never seen like a human body look this perfect. And also, she is like a badass in this movie. She saves the kid, and her whole job is to be there in the traps and keep him safe. And the fact that she's actually able to do that is just really, really impressive. And she definitely seems like someone that you want to spend eternity with, and someone that you want to have by your side. And I love her, like, her crazy hair. And also, when I was young, I was kind of tricked because I thought that Danielle Harris played Amanda in this movie. Because she looks so different in this movie than every other movie in the series. And so, you guys know how I feel about Danielle Harris. You know, she's near the very, very top of everyone in general. Number 1. Did you guys figure it out? Number 1 is Dr. Lynn from Saw 3. Now, before we get to talking about her character, let's just say this. Middle Eastern women, they are probably the most discriminatory group of women on the face of the earth. And this is speaking from experience. There's two types of women. There's two groups of women who are very, very discriminatory and intolerant and just not very good people all the way around. At number 1 would be Middle Eastern women. You know, they are very, very intolerant. They do not like dating outside their race because, you know, they're so old-fashioned and kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's just gotten to the point where it's kind of ridiculous. And they are definitely the worst because they do not, they will not do it. And then number 2 would be white women. White women are also the most discriminatory race of women when it comes to dating. They're very, very intolerant as well. And then probably the least intolerant would be Latino women and black women. Those and Asian women. Those 3 groups of women are very, very nice and very tolerant and very just very good and not discriminatory like Middle Eastern women are. And so Dr. Lynn, though, she is one of the golden gooses. She is one of the hidden gems in the Middle Eastern women community, to where she was willing to date Jeff. Now, Jeff, if you guys never saw his face in the movie, he looked like the ultimate schlub. So if he had a chance with Lynn, I would have a chance too. Not only that, but she is a badass brain surgeon. She is a goddess for sure. And she is the greatest thing ever. Like, she would be in like the top 3 of like all the characters I've ever ranked, because she is so damn perfect. In fact, you know what I thought about her? Do you know what I really thought like would be a good description of her? Lynn from Saw 3, she's like a chocolate Oreo. And there's nothing Marco loves more than a chocolate Oreo. And like, if you got to be married to a chocolate Oreo, that would be like living in heaven, like every single day for the rest of time. And she's a brain surgeon, and she's a badass in this movie, and she achieves what she needs to achieve. Hell yeah, she is the greatest babe from the Saw series. It's just unfortunate that bitch Amanda killed her. So that is my list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, but surprise, surprise, Safi will be doing this video as well later on today or tomorrow. So once again, happy 403 subscribers now. We have already gotten to 403, which is really, really cool. So please like this video, comment, and tell me what you think of where I put certain people. And then please subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos where I rank the babes of different movie series. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.